What's up, motherfucker? Saw this pop up on recommended and wanted to give it a watch. This guy, Kaiser Da Gaemer, I believe is how it's pronounced. Looks like he's a discussion channel here on YouTube. So hopefully we got some hot takes today. Let's jump into it.
I want to start this video off by saying that there is no way in hell I will ever be able to express the level of gratitude I have for my audience. The amount of love, support, and good times have been unimaginable.
Yeah, sorry if my intro I used a he or a him or whatever. I didn't, of course, see the pronouns till now. Just know if throughout the video I use a dude or a bro, like, that's just my vocabulary. Like, I call my girlfriend bro. I've called my daughter dude. It's just the way I talk, and I don't mean any disrespect by it.
Every day a new face shows up on stream, and every month I get to take paychecks from both Twitch and YouTube and pay a couple of bills. It's not much, but it's a sign I'm doing something right, and if I could be vulnerable for a moment, I am in a constant state of feeling like a failure. So to see success, even a minor amount, has been insane, and sometimes I just sit there dumbstruck with tears of happiness at the support. That being said, I have no idea how creators like Otts, Scott, Kaido, Mintskull, and more have consistently made discussion videos around this game. As of writing this video, I will be...
I mean, look, if you want to use Otts and Kaido and Mintskull, I understand, but, like, adding Scott to that doesn't make much sense. Like, look, I appreciate Scott's dedication to the game, and I respect the work he's put in, but if you're talking about video quality, I can understand why he's been able to keep at it, as long as he has without burnout, per se. I mean, look, dude thinks of something to say, fires up the camera, and he doesn't have to worry about thumbnails, he barely edits anything. I could understand how that would be more sustainable, so I think I know how he's been able to do it.
At around 5k subscribers, a little bit less. According to my Dead by Daylight discussion playlist, I am over 150 of these videos, and on every single video, whether there are 5 comments or 500, there is always at least one person who goes into the video with the pure intent not to have a discussion about a game that we are all supposed to love, but to argue or insult. Now, let me make this clear. I'm not going to be like, man, the DBD community sucks because of this problem. I think creators...
I'll say it. Yeah, the DBD community sucks. And here's the problem with the DBD community, right? It is not all of them, and it's not even most of them, but it's this vocal minority within the community that are an absolute bunch of toxic shitheads that don't know how to take the loss in a video game. It's fucking emotional immaturity at its finest. But the problem is, since they're the vocal minority, casuals will go against them, hear their bitching and whining, walk away from this game and assume that that's the entire fucking community. Perception is reality, and unfortunately, if one of us is a toxic piece of shit, then all of us are toxic pieces of shit.
Including myself, are irresponsible with that phrasing. It is far more likely that these... troglodytes seems mean. Troglodytes, who choose to actively engage in what I like to call argumentative listening, is a small yet extremely loud portion of this community. Something a lot of people don't...
Argumentative listening is something I've also accused my girlfriend of doing from time to time. Look, when she smells blood in the water, she doesn't give a fuck what you have to say. But she also knows it's a conversation and you gotta let the other side say something. But she's just waiting to fucking rip my head off. So I get where you're coming from there.
Is that when it comes to live service games, a very small portion of the community exists in online spaces. Twitter, Reddit, the forums, YouTube, every person you see in these spaces is a small percentage of people who play the game. Many people come home, play the game for an hour or two, and get off. They don't read patch notes or keep up with events, they don't watch videos or guides, they simply aren't here. So calling the entire community, or even saying most of...
And that's kind of what I was touching on there. Vocal minority, unfortunately, gives all of us a bad rap. There's not much we can do about that, though. I think the people that are emotionally immature, that are toxic and can't handle loss, that are fucking crybabies and shit, they'll always be the vocal minority. They'll always be there. And unfortunately, I think at this point, there's really no turning around the image of the DBD community as a whole. It's just the people that have put a lot of time into this game will know the truth, and it's the casuals that will think we're all pieces of shit. Not much we can do about it, unfortunately.
the community acts the way these people do would be false. But even at my small size, I get these people on every single video. The day I'm writing this video, I released a video called The No-Ed Problem, in quotes. It was a video about the discrepancy between new players and experienced players, and I used No-Ed as a prime example of how the two groups view the game. I started off that video telling a story about a Yui who was obviously new, who threw our game by doing somewhere between fuck all and jack shit, and then at the end had the audacity to call the Myers an overpowered killer. The point of that story was not, this new player threw my game, fuck new players. It was,
but like, for real, fuck new players though, dude. Look, new players need to be queued up with new players. I don't fucking want them in my games. I'm not afraid to admit it. They fucking hide in corners. I die on first hook because they're too fucking scared to save. They say stupid shit like Myers is overpowered, which is fucking disrespectful to the Myers mains out there that have to fucking lose every fucking game they play because Myers sucks, and they scratch and they claw and they grind and then they throw on a tombstone, but whatever, just to win a game. And then you've got some fucking dickhead out here calling him overpowered, where you're like, holy shit, I've been suffering and you think this is overpowered? Fuck your opinions. But that's just a new person for you. Again, new people are good. New people are necessary for the game, but just keep the new people queued up with the new people. I don't want them in my queues. Thank you.
Here is an example of a new player saying incorrect things when it was clearly their fault we lost. But again, a couple of people decided that what I was actually saying was I hate new players, and new players are stupid, and they should...
New players are stupid in the sense that they don't have game knowledge, but again, we want new players. We just want to keep the new players queued up with new players. Again, thank you very much.
Be playing the game. They accuse me of stupid shit like gatekeeping or being a bully, because again, they did not listen to the story to see what my point of the discussion might have been. They were listening to it because they wanted to argue with me on something. These kind of people will invent shit never said, purposely misrepresent statements and arguments, and more just so they can insult, belittle, and argue with you. On my video where I spoke about the quitting epidemic, I mentioned that even if aughts quit the game, it would not kill it, because again, the vast majority of the player base does not exist in the online space. And someone took it upon themselves to say, and I quote here, no offense, but you only have 4K subs, aughts has 1 million, y'all aren't comparable. Yeah, no shit, that's why I never compared us. But they-
look, come on, I've got 10 subs. I'll compare myself to aughts. Let's compare, shall we? 1 million subs, 10 subs, he wins. He's got more videos than me, he wins. He's more likable than me, he wins. He's got better quality videos, he wins. What am I missing? Anything? There you go. I compared us. Doesn't look good for me. That's why I don't usually do it voluntarily. Anybody saying that you were comparing yourself to aughts just because you used his name is obviously a fucking agitator. You can't let them get under your skin, because you're doing exactly what they want. Just my opinion, though.
They heard me say aughts' name, and then I followed it up with, none of us are important enough to affect the game if we quit, referring to content creators as a whole, and decided they wanted to use that time to insult my numbers by comparing me, a person who's been making content on this game for roughly 10 months, to aughts fucking Darva, someone who's been making content on it for like 6 years. I simply don't understand how any content creator in this space doesn't fucking snap. It's infuriating. If you're going to argue with me, argue on shit I said, argue with things I stated. One time I had a comment that asked, why are you...
Yeah, so that's the thing about people that'll argue about anything, and then when their argument falls flat, then they just insult your audience size and your fucking sub count. Like, what a bunch of pathetic fucking losers. I don't give a fuck if people come in there to my stream and I got 2 viewers and they're like, oh, look, you have fun with your 2 viewers. Or like if they went into my YouTube videos and they were like, oh, nice 10 subs. I'd be like, all right, you fucking loser. What are you doing for the fucking game? What are you doing for the community? What do you think, you fucking start on 1 million subs? You fucking loser. You would want to start at 1 million subs, wouldn't you, you entitled piece of shit? fuck, man, they don't understand the grind. So no point in feeding into their fucking negativity. You're taking the bait, it sounds like, and you just gotta take a breath and relax and realize that, you know, your 5K subs in 10 months of uploading is actually very fucking impressive. Keep it going, keep up the hard work. Don't listen to these negative Nancy's, as you would call it, or well, not you, but I would call it that, for lack of a better term, like shitheads or pieces of shit or fucking losers, or what did you say earlier, troglodytes? Yeah, anyways, let's keep it going.
Why are you so hostile to your viewers in your videos? The answer to that is twofold. Number one, it's not hostility like 99% of the time. I'm autistic, and I'm a comedian. I have been accused of being aggressive because I curse. I don't curse because I'm angry, I curse because I like to fucking curse. It adds fucking emphasis. It's fucking fun. I fucking like it. But also, people confuse passion with anger all the time. Just because my volume raises and I'm cursing, it doesn't mean I'm being an asshole. It means I'm passion rambling about my special interests. But on top of that, like I said, I'm a comedian, and further than that, I'm a rage comic. Now, whether or not you find rage comedy funny is irrelevant. That is the type of comedy I specialize in. Observational.
Hell yeah, okay, so I knew you were my kind of person. It seemed like you had a similar style of humor, communication as me, and I wasn't sure if you were being serious with your anger, but to know that you're a rage comic, I totally appreciate that sentiment now, because I know what you're talking about. Sometimes you gotta turn it up to 100 for the sake of the content. So I respect that, and ignore my last statement then, because I don't think you're actually tilted by it. I think you're doing it for the content. And again, I respect that, because you gotta do what you gotta do.
Comedy and rage comedy are the two types of comedies that I have been honing for over 21 years. Almost 22 at this point.
Alright, that part was a little weird. It's like, 21, but almost 22 years. It's like you thought we were gonna be like, oh, 21, really? That's cool. What? Almost 22? That's fucking incredible! It's like when a kid tells you their age, and they're like, I'm 8, but I'm gonna be 9 in a few months. It's like, I mean, you could have rounded up, right? Or you could have just kept it at 21. But hey, look, I'm grasping at straws a little bit here. I agree with most of what you're saying, but look, I had to find something to try to pick apart.
So it's very important to understand that whenever I am doing comedy, yes, it may not be to your liking, but most of the time whenever I do the little insulting voices, or I make the weird jokes, or I tell people to take their heads out of their asses, it's jokes. It's also sometimes serious, but it is jokes.
That's another heads out of ass references. I'm noticing a theme here.
And number two, when I am being hostile, it is toward people who act a certain way. It is a preemptive strike on the stupid shit I already know I'm going to hear. The problem a lot of you have is sometimes you see your own behaviors in the things I'm talking about, and instead of wondering why those behaviors might not be cool, you take it as personal attacks. If I start off a video by saying, hey, stop being a loser when a positive change comes to the game and give behavior credit, stop making everything a shit-flinging contest with the devs, it's because I've grown tired of the pessimists sticking their heads in the sand to any good changes. And if you...
I agree with that as well. Behavior will implement good changes, and people fucking complain that there was something else that they just started asking about that wasn't in there already, or they'll complain about something else that got changed. Nobody can ever be happy. I mean, I get that. That fucking sucks too. It's annoying to listen to. Or they do address every fucking concern, and then people are complaining that there's no shirtless skins for this character.
If you see that as hostility to you, then you've got your own shit to figure out. This isn't part of the script, but I'm going to go ahead and just tell you guys this little bit of part of the story, because it is very important and does relate to what I just said. After I wrote this script, but before I recorded this video, in fact the night before I recorded this video, my friend Bran was doing his React Andy segment, and on that React Andy segment there was somebody who was really butthurt that me and Bran said that most of the time, 99.9% of the time, salt content is unethical. Because they make salt content, they took hyper offense to that, and instead of reviewing what Bran and I were actually saying about the matter, they decided to stick their hand in the sand, actually, more realistically, stick their head up their own fucking ass, and decided to address points that were never said, make up arguments.
Just real quick, yeah, another head in asses reference here. Total theme at this point.
That were never said, and completely strawman and belittle Bran and I instead of actively responding to what we were talking about. Going so far as to start saying that people who are part of salt content, not salt content creators, the people who are the center of salt content, are mentally ill, and therefore they deserve to have their bad behavior spread across the internet, even if that might have just been a bad day. They refuse to listen to any points Bran and I would come back at to talk to them about, and this is exactly the kind of shit I'm saying. People do not like to listen, they like to listen to argue, or as my mother used to put it, they hear you, they don't listen to you. Like when the 7.7.1 patch came through, I was like, put your fucking hate boner for behavior away, they're doing something good. And someone said, no, I'm gonna continue to hate, I'm not dick riding behavior. Who fucking asked you to?
And that's the thing too, if you don't join in their delusions where they're fucking bitching about everything, then you're a dick rider. It's one extreme or the other, there is no in between. You're either a dick rider or you're gonna be a hater. You gotta be one of the two though.
Who said never criticize behavior and be a yes man? Nobody. Nobody fucking said that. But God forbid you take your cousin's dick out of your ears while you're watching a fucking video.
Ears? Ears? Take your cousin's dick out of your ears. Are we talking about in one ear, out the other, or are we talking about two different cousins with two different dicks, one in each ear? Fascinating. Please clarify for me.
Gotta invent shit never said because it makes your internet dick feel bigger to spout all the...
Another dick reference. I might have been wrong. It might not have been a heads and asses theme. It might have been a more of a dick theme, because I think that's about the third dick reference. So stay tuned, folks. Things are heating up.
The bullshit that's been sitting in your mouth from having your head shoved so far up your ass your entire goddamn life.
Never mind, there's another heads and ass reference. It's gotta be that one, right? It's gotta be that.
Look, like I said in the beginning of this video, I'm incredibly grateful for all of the love and support that I get. But if you're going to engage in discussion points with me, if you're going to engage with me in this open realm of talking about the game we are all supposed to be loving, then it is incredibly important that you need to address things that are said. People have even gone out of their way so far as to just start talking about shit that has nothing to do with the video, just so they could find a way to attack me. And that's exactly what this is.
And again, it's the personal attacks part of it, right? If they don't have an actual argument to make, then they just resort to personal attacks. I mean, that is the way the internet is. Should it be that way? No. Would the world be a better place if it wasn't that way? Absolutely. Can we do whatever we can to try and change it? Sure. But will it ever fully change? No. So at a certain point, we as individuals need to find a way to equip ourselves emotionally with the armor we need to not be offended by other people's stupid, nonsensical, disrespectful, insulting fucking opinions, right? Because they're gonna say shit just to get a reaction out of us, and we need to be able to defend ourselves from getting hurt by that, because these people don't mean shit in the grand scheme of things. They're nothing but a shit stain to society, and we need to just keep on living our lives with our heads held high, regardless of what some internet trolls fucking say to us.
Not because there are plenty of valid reasons to not like me. And they have decided to take that and just ignore everything that they said. And if I could choose one of my biggest pet peeves, like top 5 pet peeves, it is being misrepresented. If you cannot represent me and my arguments correctly, do not attempt to argue against them. If you need clarification, I can give clarification, because sometimes I don't word things properly. But that's not what we're talking about here. We are talking about people who will take clear as shit sentences, clear cut, and just completely and utterly twist them for their own amusement. And that's all I have for today. I'm sorry for the hyper-aggressive video. I just wanted to talk about this because it's like the only bad thing about being a YouTuber making content, while draining at times, is fun. And again, I am ever so grateful for everything you guys have given me. That being said, I hope you guys have a great day. Let me know what you think down below, as always. And as always, a great big special thank you to my channel members listed on screen now if you want to find out.
Hell yeah. So I gotta say, coming away from this one, Kaiser's my type of person. Honestly, same kind of communication style I have. I might start watching their videos more often, to be honest with you. I agreed with most of their opinions. Solid topics. The one thing I gotta say is because they're kind of blurring that line between are they actually really upset or mad versus are they putting on a show for the content. When it came to the personal attacks part here at the end, I feel like they might be actually, genuinely upset about it. Unfortunately, the thing you do when you become a content creator is you sign up for dealing with the internet and the pieces of shit that come along with it. It's an unfortunate fact of life, and like I just mentioned, in a perfect world, we could change the way people behave on the internet and everything could be kumbaya, but it is not going to be realistic. So we as individuals need to arm ourselves with the ability to ignore the shit people say, no matter how deplorable it is, how much they fucking shouldn't be saying shit like that, or that shit they should get fucking punched in the mouth for talking like that. People say absolutely shitty things to other people with fucking no consequences, and it sucks and it's unfair sometimes, but we can't let them ruin our lives or our days, right? We need to find a way to ignore what they're saying and truly understand within ourselves that they don't matter. But like I said, Kaiser, love your video. I agree with a lot of what you said. Yeah, keep doing what you're doing. Appreciate the hell out of you. Loved your video. Like I said, I'm going to be watching your stuff from now on, I think. And yeah, for everybody that watched my video, thanks for watching as always. If you want more content, YouTube recommends this video here on the left. If you really like the content, click my logo here on the right to subscribe to the channel. But as always, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.